This summer, I spent a month in Yucatan, Mexico, working with indigenous Mayan entrepreneurs, and as cheesy as it sounds, this trip really changed my life. Every morning, me and 3 other students from the US traveled from Cenotes Canche, where we were living, to a small Mexican town called Santa Rita. Before the sun could get too hot, we worked on a farm with 2 of the most hardworking men I've ever met, Don Antonio and Don Ladislao. After the farm, we went to Javier's shop where he and his family sew and embroider the most beautiful Yucatecan-style clothes. During our lunch break, we usually walked around the pueblo and visited with different families. Sometimes we'd visit the local cenote, and sometimes we just sat around talking. The last stop of the day was always the Women's Cooperative, where Angelica, Leticia, Doña Felipa, Ofelia, and Isabel weave artisanal hammocks and make other handmade crafts. Our job in Santa Rita was to help these people develop their 3 businesses while still respecting their culture. So we spent a ton of time working with them side by side in order to figure out what they really needed. In the end, no matter what we did, we really wanted to ensure that any changes we made were sustainable and would continue to be effective even after we were gone. So we ended up painting signs for each business to attract more foot traffic to their storefronts. We also designed a website for them and helped them brainstorm short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. During our daily interactions, I really connected with the people we were working with. I quickly learned to respect their incredible creativity, a trait that allowed them to fix practically anything with only the materials and natural resources that they had around them. I also learned about their generosity. Even though the people we worked with weren't wealthy, we never went a day without being offered food or drinks from someone in the pueblo, a lot of the time by someone that we didn't even know that well. They were also quietly content with their lives. Things that before I might have considered basic necessities like air conditioning, refrigerators, public sewage systems, and internet were luxuries in the pueblos where we worked, and I soon found that I could pretty easily live without them too. Instead, I replaced my dependence on those things with spending quality time with the people around me. The hot weather brought everyone together to lounge in their cool hammocks under roofs made of palm leaves and walls made of tree branches. We ate together right after fresh food was cooked to avoid the need for refrigeration. My confusion at the different ways that the toilets worked in each house we visited ended up being a funny joke wherever I went. And I certainly didn't need or even have time for internet surfing, because I could spend hours talking to my new friends or playing with their kids without even noticing that a second had passed. Honestly, who needed digital entertainment anyway when we were invited to every big event happening in town? 2 days after we arrived, we had already been invited to a party to celebrate someone's baptism. The next weekend, the family taking care of us at Cenotes Canche invited us to their home to spend the night in a nearby town called Hunuku. The weekend after, we went to the wedding of 2 of the sweetest people I've ever met, who somehow had no problem letting 2 random American strangers crash their beautiful ceremony. Then, during our last weekend in town, we went to Hunuku again for a graduation party and spent all night dancing and meeting new people. On the last day of our trip, all of our friends gave us little gifts called recuerdos, small things that would remind us of them when we returned to our old lives back in the US. And even though it had only been a month, more than one person broke down in tears as we were saying our final goodbyes. So yeah, at the very least, this trip has changed my life. Spending time with our new friends from Santa Rita and Hunuku reminded me of the importance of creativity, generosity, humility, and most of all, family. So thank you to everyone from the CDI and the USMF who made this experience possible for us. But thank you especially to the amazing people from Yucatan who opened their hearts and their homes to us. I'll be forever grateful.